So is it a good idea to use a fish finder for land-based fishing, and what kind of fish finder can you use? If you want to know this, check out this video. This is our second part of the deeper fish finder review. At Fishing Reminder we predict the best fishing times worldwide, so if you haven't checked it out yet, do so after the video. It works really good, helps you to catch more fish. Alright, let's test this deeper for land-based fishing. Now guys, the Deeper Pro is pretty heavy. It weighs in at about 100 grams. If you want to cast this from the shore to check out the depth, which is what we're about to try now, you need some pretty heavy line and a rod capable of casting this deeper. So I'm using a Daiwa Saltus stick baiting rod now for saltwater fishing that is capable of casting up to 100 gram lures, and I'm using 80-pound leader on a 50-pound braid. So if you do a lot of freshwater fishing, it's not a simple matter of walking around with your spin rod and just casting out this deeper. You got to bring some heavy gear with you so you can actually cast this heavy weight. So let's head over to the lake, check out how it actually works casting this deeper, and see if we can find some structure and maybe even some fish with it. Let's go and check it out. Rightio guys, here we are at the lake. Let's give that a go. It will probably be quite handy to have something to attach the phone to your rod so you can see what's going on. I just left it there on the lock. I'll just cast this deeper out a few times, and then I will look at the backlog on my phone and the history to see what the drop-off looks like. So managed to get this cast out, and I'm looking at the Deeper app now, and it's showing me that the water is 4.2 meter there and 15 degrees Celsius. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking to cast this deeper out there, because you never know if you're going to get it back unless you're going to go for a swim. I managed to get maybe a 80 meter cast or something like that, and the Deeper is actually beeping. I don't know, check this out. The Deeper is beeping, so there are actually some fish on the bottom. It's 14 meters deep there at this distance, and it's showing me a few fish. Yeah, so I did a few casts. The Deeper app showed me that the water out there is about 15 meters deep, and when I reel the Deeper in towards the shore, it will just kind of come up to 4 meters and then to the shore. So I can see that there's the drop-off, and I can see how deep the water is past that drop-off. It gives me a good indication now, as if I wanted to fish some soft baits or lures or whatever, as how deep it is and how long it would take for them to sink down to the bottom, and you know, how long I have to wait before I start retrieving them so that they kind of bounce along the bottom. So over there is a little stream mouth. I might just head over there now and do a cast there and see what that is like. Alright, as you can see, there's a little stream mouth running into that lake, and there's a drop-off right there, a bank going this way. See what we can see if we chuck the Deeper out over that bank and what it tells us right here. Alright, the Deeper is bobbing along now. App is still running, so let's have a look what the app says. So that area is about 17 meters now. Well, I actually already lost connection to my Deeper here. Probably because I was having the phone too low. I don't know. Connection is gone. It's not that far away even. And now we got the connection back, so it's 12 meters. Yeah, I'm really not so sure if that is very useful for casting from the shore. Everything I found out now, the water depth and that there's a drop-off and things like this, I could have found out by just casting out a lure and feeling the bottom with a little jig head and soft bait. So that would have been much easier than getting out my heavy rod here, attaching the Deeper and casting that out and looking at the app and setting everything up. You know, it takes quite a bit of time and is a bit of hassle, and I need all the extra gear. You know, I'm not so sure. I find it much more useful for kayak fishing and paddleboard fishing, and just have a portable solution to carry around with me and use from different vessels or boats, you know. Here's my deeper. Just gonna attach that to my stick baiting rod. It's got like 80-pound leader on it, so make sure I don't lose that. And I'm just gonna attach that directly here, probably to the top one with a uni knot, and that should be all we need here. So here's my deeper stick bait rod, and now what we gotta do is turn on the deeper app. Alright, I'm thinking this way is a pretty good place for fishing, because we got a reef over there, so there's lots of rocks. There are lots of rocks on the bottom and here as well. I can see them already, but I think straight out here looks pretty good. So now I want to check this out with the deeper and see how deep the water will be there. So I'm just gonna get my deeper app on, standard mode, and give that a good cast. So that is about my casting distance, and searching for the deeper, connecting to deeper. Alright, so we're starting to get a reading now. So we see it's 8 meters, and the bottom is actually pretty reefy here still. There's a bunch of seaweed there, some fish symbols coming up now, so I can turn that off to see if what the arcs will be. So yeah, the bottom structure, 7.8 meters. That's pretty deep. So now I can reel that deeper in a little bit closer and see where the drop-off is. Now let's do another cast in that direction and see what it's like there. So according to the deeper, now casting out in this direction is actually not a bad idea. Not too far, easy casting distance, and that would be good for bottom fishing. I can see some arcs here, so that looks like a fish arc. So that's not too bad. So give it one more cast in that direction. So there's like 5 meter deep only, and there seems to be some rock or something in the water. So that's definitely not the best area to cast to, because there'll be lots of snakes here. So what we learned that this side here is really snaggy, probably not a good idea to cast to. And from about this angle here, towards around here, there's pretty clean bottom, which would avoid us getting snagged and losing gear. The depth is about 8 meters at the moment, so it's gonna go down a little bit with the outgoing tide. Okay, so let's set up some rods and try some fishing.
This side is not snaky. Can I cast on this side?
Yeah, so this area here looks pretty good. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video testing this deeper for land-based fishing. So what I found out in my tests is that it's not really that suitable for my purposes. But I think it would be really good for you guys that do a bit of coarse fishing. I mean, deeper was developed in Europe, and a lot of coarse fishing is being done there for, you know, carp fishing, perch fishing. So if you suspend baits under a float and you need to know exactly what the depth is, like for carp fishing for example, and the water is a bit murky and you can't really see the bottom and things like that, I think it would be really good to use deeper for that. It saves you a bit of hassle trying to, you know, find out the depth with other manual methods. But for what I've done so far here in clear lakes and for lure fishing, spin fishing and even rock fishing, I don't find it that suitable. I mean, it's good, it's a helpful thing, but I wouldn't buy one specifically for rock fishing, you know, things like that. But yeah, I might give it another try if I'm back in Europe at some stage for some coarse fishing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and visit us at fishingreminder.com for the best fishing times, guys. Hope it gives you a good indication on if you can use the deeper fish finder for your land-based fishing adventures or not, you know. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.